Preston D. BARNES is the UK's #1 country music artist and nominee for the Best UK Country Singer of the Year and UK Country Artist of the Year 2023. His brand new single, Heartbreaks, Better That Way, featuring with one of Nashville's most finest female artists, Moriah Domby, is out now. And Preston joins me now on the show. Welcome, Preston. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Now, the last 12 months have been a whirlwind journey for you since your debut single, Add a Little You, which was released in May 2022 and has surpassed all expectations with 3 subsequent singles, all hitting #1 spot in the country music charts. How has that journey been so far?
Just a whirlwind, like you say. It's been mad, you know. And when we first started the whole journey, before we even considered jumping into country music, never did I think that I would be, you know, where I am now. Never mind. I mean, this is only 16 months later.
Yes.
The first single coming out, and I think we've had 4 #1s now, and it's just ridiculous, you know. We've done so many things in such a short period of time. I never would have thought that would have happened, so it's been amazing.
Absolutely amazing it is. And I remember, I think last year I was sent your single and we had that out on the radio and it had great feedback.
Yeah, and you know, what we've tried to do over the past kind of 12 months is just do something different every time.
Yes.
And it's nothing to do, a lot of people ask me this question actually, whether it's, are you trying to find the right sound? Are you trying to find your specific sound? It's nothing to do with that. We just wanted to keep it different every time. And it seemed to have worked because I've got so much support. It's unbelievable, really. I just didn't expect it to happen like that. It's mad, isn't it?
It's fabulous. It's fabulous, man. It's fabulous. Because there's loads and loads of artists that are popping up here, there and everywhere. Because when we had all of that lockdown carry on, I think a lot of artists were discovered, and all of these technologies as well, which have always been there. People have discovered them, artists have discovered them, and they are using these platforms now, and that's how we're getting such a varied amount of artists around and fabulous music like what you're bringing out.
Yeah, exactly that, and it just gave people the amount of time. I mean, how long was lockdown? It was so long, wasn't it? It felt like a lockdown. And
it was like somebody's pressed the reset button. And then, isn't it? Because everything's
delete on everything that's happened previously, and you all start again. And that's exactly what musicians did. And I think they had the time then to try and kind of find out what they wanted to do. And a lot of, certainly UK musicians, and I'm sure it's the same across the world, but everybody's continued it, which is fantastic because there's so many brand new people, like you say now. And they're popping up every week at the moment. It's mad.
I know I get a lot of tracks inboxed of artists and they're brand new and they're absolutely fantastic as well, mind.
I know.
Now, a lot of people may not know this, but you were a soldier before being a celebrated country singer. What was it like being a soldier and then making the transition into the music industry?
Well, I joined the military at 16, so I haven't really known anything else since I left school, really. Stayed there for 22 years, 22 long years. It's like a life sentence, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I had an amazing career, and I travelled 38 countries. I had lots of life experiences. You know, went to war, did the whole kind of full-on military thing, really.
Yes.
But I also did military music for a long time when I first joined.
Right.
So I'm actually a classically trained musician, you know, originally back in the day.
Amazing.
So we got taught by London professors. So we really did kind of get taught by the best people we could in the UK, you know.
Yes.
And that kind of set me off on the classical musical journey. We did a lot of state occasions for royalty all over the world. Played for the Queen a few times, all that type of thing. And then that kind of died away, and I did a few other military things, chemical warfare instructor and physical training instructor and recruiter and all this type of thing, and trainer. And then I did that, silly old thing of applying for The Voice UK, and that really was the spinning point on what I could do when I left the forces then, So yeah, it was a fantastic career. I'll never change it. I will always say to people, look, if you want to do something and get taught some life skills and trade, any kind of trade you can do in the forces, then join up. It's a fantastic life. And it's not done me any harm at all.
No, it certainly hasn't. And I think it would probably help you with the discipline that you have with obviously your music career.
Yeah, because, right from the age of 16, if you don't know anything different, it's kind of installed and drilled into you from day one. Planning, any kind of planning, really, I suppose, in any day, any kind of day in your life. And it carries on and it carries on. You never lose it. So discipline's a huge thing, I think. And also the ability to handle pressure is also good as well.
Yes, and you especially need that when if you're signed to a record label and they'll say you're meant to get that album by this date. And
yeah, and it's all kind of times and calendars and pressure and all that. I love it. It's great.
Yes.
And it kind of doesn't bother me that too much, where I know a lot of other artists kind of struggle with that, side of things.
Yeah,
it's different, but it's just my past allows me to be able to deal with it a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, and I think it does really help there when you've got like your mindset in order for you to reach your goals and things like that, especially as a singer-songwriter like yourself, Preston.
Yeah, because, when you set off and you set off on a journey, you want to achieve something. And that's something we don't really know what it is. When we first start, we always think, well, we'll release the first record and see how it goes, see what happens.
Yeah.
So we released our first one and it went mad. So then you've got another goal and it's just a little bit higher than the last one. And it's so on and so on. So we keep pushing and keep pushing. And the difference with us, well, myself and my team, is we never stop pushing. We'll never be relaxed on just the okay. It's got to be the best it can be at all times. Yeah, and I think that's what people have got to do. I speak to artists all the time that have been doing it 20, 25 years and not done anything yet. And I just think you need the right people around you.
Yeah.
You need the desire to succeed at every point, and take the hits, because the hits are going to come.
Definitely.
Hits, the hard times are going to come. They'll break you down and they'll build you back up into something better. And that's the way we've always fought for it, really. So, and here we are. It's crazy.
It's amazing, and because your rise to prominence has been quite unprecedented, including a nomination for the Best Country Singer of the Year UK, as I mentioned earlier, and the UK Country Radio Song of the Year Award 2023, with previous nominations including Best UK Male Vocalist at the 2022 BCMA Awards. What was it like having such success early on?
Again, surprising, because when I was nominated for the 2022 awards, I hadn't been doing it that long. And I think the awards was in November last year, and I'd only brought my first record out in May, bear in mind.
Wow.
And there's all these other artists out there that have been doing for 10, 15 years, and they're getting awarded and nominated. So just to be nominated at that stage was mind-blowing for us, really. We just didn't expect it at all. So that was really cool. And then again, we've been nominated again this year. So, I don't know. It's like, sometimes I wake up and I just think, it is mad. It is. Yes. The whole thing is just a little bit mental, really. But it's great. It's one of them good mental things that just keeps you pushing and keeps you pushing for more. It's great.
And there'll be more and more awards to come, I bet, as well. Now, have you always been a singer?
No, absolutely not.
No, no. Did you not sing there in your bedroom there?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how it started. I was in Germany with the army. We were on a night out, right, as you do.
Yeah.
all the squaddies out in one go. You know, a bit of carnage, and it was, you know, it was them kind of nights. And there was a karaoke on, and I got up and sang karaoke. Little did we know on that particular night, it was actually a competition. We didn't know that.
Wow.
And the prize was 500 Deutschmarks, right? So, but we didn't know. So anyway, I got up and I sang a song. I think I sang Bed of Roses, Bon Jovi, I think.
Oh, it's a fabulous tune, that one. I love that one.
And I ended up winning it. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I bought the whole of the group of lads a drink that night, and they loved it. So,
yeah.
That's really where it started for me. And previous to that, I hadn't really done a lot of singing at all. I mucked about in a band when I was 15-year-old, singing and playing keyboards, but it was nothing to shout about, you know. I was only 15, but
what an amazing story! And did you do an encore?
I did actually have to do an encore. Yeah, you're right. I did, yeah.
Like the X Factor.
Yeah, I just thought, you know, wow. And all the lads after that kept saying, maybe you should do something else, try for something else, and you know, maybe you can take us out and buy us free drinks on the next night out as well. So constantly trying to find karaoke competitions around the place, but we couldn't find any more, I have to say.
Oh, you might have had your fill, as it were.
Yeah.
You might have wanted to hold the hangovers for a little bit.
Exactly, yeah.
Big hangovers as well. Now, in April 2023, you were invited to Nashville, Tennessee to meet with top country PR Risto Media Group, who have worked alongside the Mavericks, Keith Urban, Travis Tritt, Trisha Yearwood, also Billy Ray Cyrus, and many others. What was it like taking the trip to Nashville and then to be signed by Risto Media Group?
Yeah, again, another lifelong dream, really, for me. I love the States. I love the whole America thing. I've been to America previously, just to Orlando, like everybody kind of does. Yes. If you go to America, I did all that stuff. But to be invited over purely on a musical journey was a bit crazy, really. And when we got chatting to Risto, we went to their offices, and there's kind of discs all over the wall, and you know. Wow. And that's the moment when you walk through that door and think, okay, I'm kind of feeling where I'm sitting here now and who I'm about with.
It's happening.
It was kind of that feeling, but almost a little bit more reserved, because I keep my feet on the ground. I don't kind of jump at the first hurdle, and I just thought, right, okay, well let's have a chat, see what happens. Yeah. If something happens, great. If something doesn't, it doesn't. And yeah, we were signed by Risto for 2 singles. So, wow, which was just, you know, madness. And then later on that tour, there's so much more to tell about that tour. It was jaw-dropping moments repeatedly every day for 10 days. I have never experienced anything like it in my life. Honestly, it was just madness.
Well, a fellow singer like yourself there, Nick Edwards, have you heard of him?
I love Nick.
Nick Edwards, you wouldn't believe this, that I interviewed him a couple of months back, and he said to me that he wants to perform at the Grand Ole Opry, and then I found out that you've performed at the famous Grand Ole Opry. What was it like performing at this iconic venue? Because Nick he's going to be doing a documentary, and it's the journey to the Opry, because he wants to perform there.
Yeah, look, Nick's a fantastic guy, and I got hold of him after X Factor, and I'd actually already started country at that point.
Right.
And we were chatting together, and he was kind of asking me what the country scene's like and getting a feel for it. I give him a bit of advice, and you know, we got chatting, and we got friends now. It's great. Little tale though, I haven't actually performed at the Grand Ole Opry. That is not true. Because I'd love it to be true.
Is it because the picture that I've been sent has got you standing at the Opry?
Correct, it has. Yeah. So what we did is we went into the Grand Ole Opry, and we got shown around the whole place, and they allowed me to stand in the famous circle on the stage.
Right.
Which, if people don't know, the old Ryman Theatre in Nashville was the Grand Ole Opry years ago.
Right.
That then burnt down, and they cut a huge circular part of the stage that wasn't affected.
Right.
And took that and installed it into a brand new stage in the new Grand Ole Opry. So it's like a circle of kind of brown old wood.
Yes. Yes.
You're only allowed to stand in that circle if you're inducted into the Grand Ole Opry family.
Right.
But when we were looking around there that day, we went on the stage and we said, look, you know, we're UK country artists. We've done really well so far. And the film crew just said, look, please stand in a circle.
Well, you asked to do it.
And I was like, what? You can't get... No, please stand in a circle. So that was where the picture come from. But me and Nick are both on the same journey to hit that very stage. And it is the biggest stage in country. It is the biggest stage in the world if you're on this genre of music. And I won't stop until I get it. And
neither will Nick.
No, so we're kind of on that journey together, and like I said, I love the guy. He's super, really talented actually, yeah, you never know. We might be able to do something together on that stage one day. You know that.
You just never know. You might both be there at the Opry at the same time debuting. Wouldn't that be strange?
Well, I'll tell you something. We were chatting to a guy who used to play with Willie Nelson over in Nashville.
Right.
I think he was his guitar player actually. He's a taxi driver now, weirdly enough. I know. And we were talking to him, and he was saying, look, there's never been any British artist ever got to play on Grand Ole Opry stage. As in, never been inducted into Grand Ole Opry. Okay.
Uh-huh.
For me, I was like, right, okay, well, challenge on, you know.
Yeah.
And it seems at the moment that America are really quite interested in what I'm doing.
Right.
I don't know if you know the news from yesterday. I don't know if you've told yet, but
I haven't.
New news, straight for you, is the new music video to the brand new single "Heart Breaks Better That Way."
Right.
Has just landed on CMT in America.
Wow, my goodness me.
Huge news for anybody in country, really. And I've been told the Send It My Way video, the single previous to this one, is also going on there as well. So, you know,
it's just
it's a pinch me moment time, isn't it?
It's a pinch me moment. I was just going to say that, isn't it?
But I do think, I honestly do think my background helps with the military thing, because the Americans are really, really patriotic out there. They love the veterans, so that kind of helps. And you know what? As much as it pains me to say it, you really do have to have a story in music for somebody to be interested.
Of course you do. That's right. You can have
the best single that's ever been produced by any artist in the world. Will it get played on TV? Will it get played on the big stages? We don't know, possibly. Yes. But if you have a story behind you, you've got more chance.
Yeah, you've always got to have a backstory.
Yeah.
And it's like when I'm given information from the promotions people, whoever it is that I'm chatting with, I always look for a backstory if it's not on the piece of paper, because you can only put so much in a text. But it is very interesting when people have got a backstory, because then people will go, I like what he's saying. Let's have a listen to what he's saying.
Exactly.
You know what he's talking about, you know, because this man knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's the interest, isn't it? It's kind of luring people into your life a little bit, and
it is.
And actually, you know, when we perform on stage regularly now, people don't think you're normal. People think they can't approach you, they can't speak to you, and all that. Yeah. And I refuse to be like that.
Yeah.
So I'll go down and sit next to people and have a chat to them for 10 minutes and chat to the mum and dad and the sister and the brother and all that.
Yeah.
You know, I just love all that. You've got to stay normal.
You've got to keep it real, as the Americans say. Keep it real.
Real, man. Yeah.
Keep it real, man.
Yeah.
That's they do, don't they? Yeah. Well, I like to keep it real as well. You see, because always wear my heart on my sleeve, all that carry on. Because if you hide behind stuff, you're soon going to be found out years later. Going, that person was a load of rubbish or talking,
Yeah,
whatever.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you're doing it all the right way. So hopefully yourself and Nick there will be standing on the stage within the next 2 years. Amen. At the Grand Ole Opry.
I hope so.
I hope so. Yes, watch this space. Now, Preston, your new single, as you mentioned there, Heartbreaks Better That Way, features one of Nashville's finest female artists, Moriah Domby. How did that collaboration come about?
Yeah, so Moriah, she's incredible. She's amazing. Really, really talented. She writes a lot for Sony Records over in America. So she actually does a lot of songwriting for other people as well as herself. So I met Moriah when we did FanFest, which was over here in the UK last year in July, I think.
Right.
She was on a small UK tour that year. She was on stage before me doing an acoustic act with her and another guy. And I just loved her voice, instantly loved her voice. It's like a really angelic sound. And then we went on stage straight after with a full band, and she hung around and listened.
Right.
And that kind of means a lot, when somebody actually stays and listens. So I came off stage and went to the merch stand, meet and greets and things like that, and Moriah was still there, and we got chatting. And I said, look, I'd love to record a song with you one day, a duet of some kind. It'd be amazing if we could.
Yes.
And she jumped at the chance. And for the past kind of 12 months, really, it's been in the planning.
Yes.
But we obviously went to Nashville in May this year.
Yes.
And we met up with her. We recorded a music video. We did the voices and all that. It was just an incredible experience. And that girl is super, super talented, I have to say. It's an honour for me.
Yeah, it's a beautiful single as well. I absolutely love it. And I'll really look forward to seeing the video for that as well.
Yeah, well, the video's out now. People can see that on YouTube. And clearly now it's on every TV in America in people's houses now. So
yes, on country music television, which is major. It's major, that channel.
It is major. It is.
On the cable television here, they used to have CMT on, and I rather like that. So that needs to get back on.
I know.
Over here, and then we can all enjoy it, because this, apparently, I've been told all about this, that the country pop kind of scene is just kicking off, and everybody that I'm speaking to, a lot of the artists are from going down the country route, because that is where it's all happening there.
That's right. It's the biggest growing genre in the world right now, this country. And like you said, there's much more pop feel to it. They've got drum loops going on and all sorts of type of. They've even got rapping in country now, believe it or not. I mean, I don't know what's happening. But you will never hear a rapper in my songs, I can guarantee you that. But it's there, it's happening. So country music's changing across the whole world, and America are leading it, obviously.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the UK are very, very close behind. They really are.
I think people have generally changed the direction in the way of that they like music, because there was lots of rock in the charts, like in the 90s. In the 80s, it was all electro, and now we're getting the country in there. So maybe it's country's time.
Yeah, I really think it is across the whole world. And there's Australia are big, Denmark, Sweden, Germany, Holland, and then you've got obviously America, us, Canada. It's massive all over the world. So to be involved with it, and for it to be going as well as it's going, it's like, I mean, come on, who wouldn't do it?
Exactly, and it'll be great feeling as well that you're there at the start of the UK invasion, as it were, of the country music scene. So, you and amongst others there, Nick as well, Nick Edwards, it must be just fabulous. that
it
it's
is.
all been, it's going so well.
It is, and I was chatting to Nick about it not long ago, and we were saying, maybe we can put our own stamp on what the future will be for country music. If people keep listening and keep buying into what we're doing, and the style that we're producing, then that is also paving another little niche for the UK to take across the waters to America. And look, we're going back to Nashville next year in April.
Right.
We've been invited back again. So
wow.
We're going to be playing some big stages out there, hopefully. So we're just in the final chats about that now. So I'm going to take the style over and see what happens. And if Nick wants to come, he can come.
That'll be excellent. So yourself and Nick are good pals. So are you going to be like in the future? Do you think you would ever record an album together? Not like Michael Ball and
oh God, no.
Alfie Bow. But I mean, what I mean is that kind like a nice country album together. Do you think you would do that?
Yeah, I think so. Because
I think the match. I think it would be. I could just picture. I was just picturing in my head there. I could see us both on the front cover there.
Yeah, well, you're not the first person to say that, actually. And I've had quite a few UK country artists that have asked me to collaborate with them, and I have done, and we are doing currently.
Yes.
But me and Nick will do something together. That is guaranteed. At some stage, it's guaranteed, and it has to happen.
It definitely has to happen. So you'll have to watch this space. You'll be first to find out here, hopefully, on Phil Wilson in the Morning on Radio Shields and Phil Wilson's Vinyl Revival.
You will be, I promise you.
That's excellent. Now, on another note, the Vinyl Revival is upon us. What is your favourite vinyl record you have ever bought?
Wow. Well, going back to my youth, when I went down the record shop on a Friday and bought a record, physically bought a record, this is going to be really weird, and it does have a link.
Yeah.
I bought the soundtrack to Rocky IV on LP, right?
Wow.
And I bought it 9 times. Now, the reason for that is it was scratched in the same place every time I played the first 8. So I kept taking it back.
Yeah.
And we got the final perfect version, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward 32 years maybe.
Right.
To May last year. And I was stood in Steve Duff's house, which is a Grammy award-winning songwriter.
Yes.
Written for Rascal Flatts and all sorts of people. George Strait, Celine Dion.
Oh my goodness.
All these people. It's
amazing.
And he had a gold disc on his wall. He created Rocky IV soundtrack.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't believe it. And I was stood on his staircase looking at it, and I spoke to him about it. I said, I cannot believe that I'm actually stood in the house of somebody that's produced that soundtrack. How amazing is that?
The chances of it is just...
Considering that album that I bought, that he created...
And you loved it.
Was the first record I ever bought. That's just amazing, isn't it?
I wonder if his gold disc has got a scratch on it. You'll have to go and take it out of the case.
I'm going to ask him.
I love that. Oh, yeah, great. Yeah. Excellent. But that's a great choice. That's a great choice. I like that choice of album there that you've chose there on the good old vinyl. Now, Preston, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Please, could you introduce your latest single?
Guys, this is Preston D. Barnes, as you well know. This is my brand new single, Heartbreak's Better That Way, featuring the amazing Moriah Domby.
Preston, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, and good luck, and we'll watch out for that collaboration, Preston D. Barnes and Nick Edwards. You heard it first here.
It's coming.
It's coming soon to a record store near you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Take care then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.